A little bit of daily advice from Nachman on the issues of Mammon and Parnassa, money and earning a livelihood. We're up to paragraph Vav 6. Says Rebbe Nachman that the lust for money and overdoing, exerting your energies in a tremendous way, in a way which revolves exhausting and overwhelming effort in order to achieve money and livelihood, especially if it comes at the expense of a violation of even one of the mitzvahs of the Torah relating to money, such as Rebbe's interest, such as misrepresenting sales, fraud, overcharging, etc., many breaking laws of the state, breaking laws of commerce, etc. These are considered mamish aboda zara. Very powerful words. It's considered as if it's idolatry because you're worshiping money and its gain, perceived gain, more than you are Hashem Himself. You've set up a worship of the god of Mammon. This is a very, very grievous offense. And anytime a person is involved in this avodah zarah, in the worship of Mammon, people unfortunately are steeped in this. Said even Rav Nassan's times, the Rebbe's times 200 years ago, and nothing has changed. The lust for money is an eternal issue. And if it does exist, then Hashem's anger over this avodah zarah, which is what the Mishnah tells us, that as long as avodah zarah exists in the world, Hashem is angered by it because people are openly defying and rejecting His purpose, which is to takein olam b'malchus Shaddai, to have the worship of Hashem and not the worship of money. So if a person wants to break this lust for money, as we've said, the best device to do so is to give honest tzedakah, not for glory and not for any other selfish reasons, although it doesn't really matter. As long as one gives tzedakah, it's a good mitzvah, but still more ideally tzedakah in a pure and holy way, and thereby demonstrates his faith in hashgacha amitis, in Hashem's will. In other words, Hashem knows that if you're doing things in a way which is kosher or not, and if you have faith that you will not lose by acting fairly and by following the law and the laws of the Torah, that is a demonstration of your extreme faith in Hashem, and then the anger of God, and which is focused on idolatry in this world, will dissipate. And Adarabah, just the opposite, He will bring to you great kindness and light. As we said in today's Likutei Halachos, this constitutes the concept of das that will pervade the world in the days of Mashiach, which is really the central message of the Beis HaMikdash, which is Brachos Lamed Gimel. He quotes, Kol Adam sheyesh bo deya ki'ilu nivna Beit HaMikdash biyamav. If you have this knowledge, what is the knowledge? That Das Amitis, which is that Hashem is in charge and was watching by which rules you conduct your business, and will reward you on all the affairs of your life. And if you don't violate them, He will bless you. Not only that, but since you've demonstrated your love for Hashem and love for His Torah, Hashem will actually give you access to learning Torah in a more profound way, and you'll come up with all sorts of products and profits which will represent Chidushei Torah. You'll have all this added benefit will accrue to you in your knowledge and awareness of Torah and ability to teach Torah, and many other things in a countless amount of things that one will accomplish if they can break this lust for money, and it will be just instead of thinking of money as their source of blessing, they will think Hashem is the source of blessing, and so it shall be manifest in their lives. Have a wonderful day. I'd like to add a story that I saw in one of the Lubavitch circulars about there was an individual who lived in Pueblo, Colorado, during the Great Depression, and he had a store. He was like the only Orthodox family in town. He's a very devout man, and he went to shul every day and tried to daven with a minyan if it was all possible, if a minyan could gather. And he was the stalwart of the synagogue and stalwart of Torah observance in Pueblo, Colorado, in the early years of the Depression. And his store, which was a multi-purpose store, dry goods, had everything, and it was conducted on a very, very high level of integrity, honesty, and quality, and reasonable prices, was empty because there was nobody to buy. Of course, he closed on Shabbos, etc. So one day, a tremendous buyer came that wanted to buy $3,000, which was a massive amount of money in the Depression. They could have lived on it for maybe a years or years, and said, I just need all these things delivered to me tomorrow morning on the Shabbos to my hotel because I'm leaving. And he said, I'm sorry, can't do that. And his daughter pleaded with him, just do it through a goy. That's what all the other Jewish storekeepers do. Do it through a non-Jew. And he said, no, I don't do that. That's not it's not permissible. And therefore, we won't do it. And they came home and they had Shabbos meal. And the Shabbos meal was like, the whole family was sad and angry. And he said, don't be, let's just sing and keep Shabbos properly. And we'll go to the store and put everything together. He took all these items off the shelf. Let's just put them back and get ready for business. We'll go, let's say Shabbos. And sure enough, they go open the store, and there is the customer. And he says, leave everything where it is. I want all of it, and I want a whole bunch more, because I realized that you were a man of integrity, and I wanted to do business with you, and I would have good service and excellent prices. And he ended up selling $9,000 worth of materials to him, triple the blessing. He tripled the blessing of what he might have had by observing the laws of Torah and the laws of Shabbos.